Hey guys, what's up? It's welcoming back to another episode of Walks Witchla. Yeah, man, does this day going by fast. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast this day's going by. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. It's a high stakes day. It's a strange day. And a day like that is likely to go by at a speed. Alright, I'm gonna put my phone on the ground in a couple seconds. Yeah, it keeps being the pinky finger in my glove is being stubborn. Yeah, and I had to kind of rush through my eating. I don't know what happened. I think I may have given myself oh wait, I forgot to shoot. Shoot. Sorry, I might have to put my phone on the ground again. I forgot to put my watch the workout on for the walk. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think of what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to charge that sucker. I'm gonna have to charge that thing up because I have something special planned for today. Basically doing something with my car. So I'm thinking I'm just going to walk home and do an entire episode walking home, but I'll probably use the other microphone that I use for my car ride, since it should be a long episode. It should be over an hour long. So that should be pretty cool, pretty fun. Kind of looking forward to it, because I don't know. Like I said, I wish I was already recording all my moments my whole life, but for some reason I never really did. And there's a lot of lost moments. There was moments where I found a $20 bill on the ground when I went out for a walk. I think I went out to go to CVS to get a $20 Steam card, and then on the way home I found $20 on the ground. So it was that was super cool. That was a super cool day. I remember it, but it would have been cooler if there was some kind of audio archive of that, on the channel. But I mean, this was so long ago though. Yeah, life really did used to be so much simpler. No, everybody says that, but I don't know. I'm trying to step back though, really, but I can't help it. When I look around and I see people, and I witness how they operate and stuff. I mean, it never ceases to baffle me, just to try to get into people's heads and see what they see and try to understand them. I know this one guy I talked to one time hated it. He got in a huge argument with me and just stopped talking to me. So I didn't know him for long. It was only a couple days of texting, but at first he was on board with it, and then he just out of nowhere just totally hated me, randomly. He was man, there's no point in that. Just live life, just live. Stop trying to figure people out. There's no point. And it's this random attitude that I think people who say that kind of stuff, I don't know if they realize, but there's really nothing special to it. Well, and then if I said that to them, they'd probably, well, I'm not trying to be special. Maybe that's a maybe that's a symptom of myself then, right? I mean, it's probably a symptom of myself, but because maybe in my view, there's always kind of been a contrarian or like a need to have a special perspective. And I don't know, it's probably more of a subconscious bias. I don't know that I like literally go out of my way to change opinions or have opinions based on that. But I think it's probably subconsciously there to have like a controversial or a contrary opinion. But I mean, in this case, I think it's something that it just isn't really conducive, and a lot of people say it, and I don't think they're really thinking too much about it, but if they did, it's probably like something to do with I don't know, maybe like a fear, or they're what a lot of people do is they turn things that are like super subjective and that aren't superior, and they turn them into like superiority complex things, you know. So it's like things that they're genuinely not better at and don't matter at all, and like they can't be better at. People will take that stuff and then like pretend like they are. I don't know if that makes sense, and act like, oh well, because this person's different, this person has like a different viewpoint than me, I'm just gonna fight it, and I'm just gonna like argue for my point. And yeah, I guess that's something that just genuinely goes on, and there isn't really much appreciation or respect for trying to be objective. That's what I tend to notice. I know this is like a really kind of off track conversation. The weather today isn't great, so it's kind of a shame for that special walk switch schla. I think we're definitely going to have to wear the winter coat, and that just makes it for like a less fun experience. But to retract my steps, a lot of people say that whole thing about like, dude, just live, just chill, just see what happens, man. Like, but the thing is, it's the ideologification of something that's inherent. Like, that is like the default human perspective of like an average Joe, or like I would even say like unintelligent person. It's that like human impulse to just let everything loose and not try to plan and not try to work on anything. And people act like they have like a superiority about it or something. It's just incredibly strange to me, because it's like there's nothing special about it. You're not better than somebody else. You know, you're worse. You're basically, well, actually, I'm not even going to say that you're worse, because I still kind of agree with most things. There's a give and take. That's something I tend to say a lot. There's, you know, with most things, there's a give and take. And the good from that is that you're kind of freer in this current time and reality. In this current time and reality, you still get away with a lot. You know, you can have an unfairly better life than somebody else, and it just doesn't matter. But in this sense, this guy I was talking to, he said he was poor though, which it actually kind of makes even less sense, because again, it's only through like pretty aggressive education and comprehension of things and stuff like that. It's only through like pretty aggressive categorizing and comprehension and doing all the extra stuff to really get to a point where I'm trying to think where I was going with this. To get to a point where you can like actually solve any of those problems. And so it's kind of funny, or I mean, maybe it's ironic, but it's like a no duh kind of irony that a poor guy who was talking about how like he was always poor and how he just didn't understand like how people were materialistic and he thought all that stuff was stupid, was also like criticizing a person who would have the capability to actually fix that system. It almost makes me wonder, like, again, if some people that like becomes their personality and they can't break out of it, whereas in my case, I would like to see a world where things are more fair, for example, but you can only do that through classification and labeling. I just think classification and labeling, people don't like it because it's confusing them. It's beyond their comprehension. Because I always love to label stuff, and I don't know, I mean, maybe that's a symptom of my anxiety, because I did see this one random video, like, probably like nearly 10 years ago at this point, but this guy said, anxiety stems from labels and trying to match labels, and that, reality, like, oh, don't attribute any label to yourself, like, it's all just a bunch of, random stuff, just be free, like, and it was some kind of experiment. Now, I never validated that. It was just a YouTube video. I can't remember if that guy was like an actual doctor, if there's root to it, but it made a lot of sense. And I guess it could be a cause of a lot of my anxiety now, because there's so many classifications in my head probably about myself and about other people, and just trying to understand that. It is quite like overly materialistic, but I disagree with the idea entirely that it's limiting. I mean, it may cause more anxiety, but it's definitely not limiting. What I think the problem is people, they wanna, they don't really want to know stuff about other people, because there's definitely lots of descriptive words to describe certain people and personalities, and these are pertinent behaviors. It's important that we have like a pretty advanced spread of who a person is and what they do and the patterns that they engage in. That's really what helps us become more advanced as a civilization, and again, potentially, in the case I'm saying, better and fairer. I think there's two problems. It's people's comprehension of themselves and other humans is relatively poor, and their ability to understand language is also poor. So with a very low vocabulary, a lot of these words, they just seem kind of crazy, and I think they just maybe intimidate people or just make people uncomfortable, and so they don't want to attribute them to others or attribute them to themselves, because that that just makes them like not feel good or something. I don't know, I'm trying to piece this together. But yeah, because I just never can understand that. I mean, we should be packing as many labels as possible to each other and to just society and to people as a whole. I mean, I see no reason not to do that. I see absolutely no reason. It's just like a crazy kind of situation in my view of it. It's just like a really crazy situation. But yeah, I guess there's not too much else to it, is there? I hope this reaches GPT. I don't know that I'm going to be able to paste them in, because I'm really just trying to relax. So these episodes are probably not going to be, because like, I don't know, man, I probably should paste it in and kind of get some kind of a read on it, but that just remains to be seen. Oh, this is going to be difficult to pull off. Oh man, I'm going to have to hold on, guys. Ugh. This is crazy. Crazy work. Sorry guys, I'm just getting very overwhelmed here. Getting extremely overwhelmed because I'm realizing to get into this phone I have to use the fingerprint, and I took off the wrong glove of the wrong hand, and I just, I'm trying to do this show and I'm trying to record and stuff, and it's very stressful, but at least things worked out. So yeah, because sometimes the clock doesn't go through, and then that's very stressful. And yeah, I just had to put a bunch of stuff on the ground and just give up, and I guess know that, hey, maybe the recording, it's just not going to be good. There's going to be that quiet spot. Hopefully I'm smart enough to edit it, or not smart. Well, it would be a mixture of, I'm probably just not going to catch it though, because it's not a super long quiet spot. But yeah, I just kind of broke down there, guys. Sorry about that. Couldn't handle it. I just couldn't do it. But anyways, yeah, people really hate to be scientists, and I think they just attribute they want to just be able to attribute a bunch of their own random values to things and to life, and just have their own beliefs, but their own beliefs usually center around freedom and how things are abstract and everybody's different and all that stuff. I guess that actually is true to a degree, but I think more often than not, a lot of people say those things and they kind of overblow it, and then the truth is a lot of humans are limited in the same aspects. I guess it depends on the specific topic. I mean, when it comes to people's I guess philosophies, there can be diversity, but then it's also really limited too. A lot of people really do have the same kind of general thought patterns or perspectives. So that's why it's really confusing to me, that I think a lot of these people, they're just trying to intellectualize ignorance. But even in this case, this is another thing. I'm not really don't take this as gospel. I mean, this is messy. There's some intuition that I think I'm probably right in some ways, but I'm not entirely sure about this one. It's just something that kind of frustrates me, because I really want to learn about people, understand people, and push forward. Let's learn about society, understand, and let's fix it. And I think it is true, though, a lot of these people, they probably have a very, very limited understanding of politics, or even a limited and very poor understanding of culture and how humans work and stuff. And so they're coming up with these ideas, but because I see that so much, even from alleged expert streamers and people like that. I mean, their knowledge is just, it's not really, I just see so many times people kind of are off or get stuff wrong, and I mean, I do too, but I just don't think it's as I feel I dot my I's and cross my T's more. I don't really know. Maybe that's a phenomena it's probably a phenomena that just happens with anybody, but it just seems to be the case that a lot of people have a smaller sphere of knowledge than me. I don't really know how else to explain that. So it's weird, because I don't really think I do much, but I'm definitely just trying to consciously tone it down these days. because I can tell I'm really not doing well, and I think like I just need to, relax more and have more of that type of content, because that's what everybody else does, and I think it's why they end up having blind spots to things, because their enjoyment, it comes from sources that are just like entertainment sources. They're not like a educational source, whereas for me, a bulk of my entertainment is nonfiction. A bulk of it is educational, but I think it's overwhelming. Like I don't know, and it's not. I don't get a reward really, or I don't believe I get a reward unless God's rewarding me or something, and so it just gets too harsh after a while. Like I'm really trying to get somewhere, do stuff, really. But nobody else is. Everybody else is just, doing their thing, and they have this ability to just like procrastinate and lose awareness and lose themselves and stuff. And I obviously just don't have that opinion. I don't have that skill. Like that skill is just not. It's not. My brain just, it can't really turn off in that way. I'm always kind of like. I mean, even now, I wanted to turn this show into a more light show for this like time period that I'm just can't do it, and it's just not like this is the type of conversation I gravitate to, and yeah, it's kind of a shame, because I know I had certain like joking shows in the beginning, but that side of me, it's just been so long since it's able to come out, and something's going on, and I just hope I can like maintain myself through it, because I'm getting kind of concerned, like I'm kind of losing it. I've mentioned this a few times, but I really have no idea where I'd be right now if it wasn't for all this audio recording that I've been doing. This has really been a huge help, but wow, is it weird. Anyways, it's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see you schla.